This episode of Let's Talk Jinx will be a little bit different to make up for the quote-unquote lower quality of previous videos, but as always with a patch day, we'll be talking about patch 11.5, changes to Jinx and changes that might affect Jinx as we go through this video. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in that, and if you're not, I have no idea why you clicked on here, but here we go. Maw of Mortius, that one item that used to be like a magic defense item because of the shield in it and whatnot, is getting its cost decreased from 3,100 gold to 2,800 gold. Now I don't know in the current build with Jinx, and depending on who you ask, Jinx is in a different state. She's either clapping cheeks or the one whose cheeks get clapped. It's definitely a variation depending on the changes. We've talked about those in depth a bit for the past couple of videos if you want to watch that, but essentially there's a kind of a debate about even the main mythic item, but also like defensive item options and stuff like that. What really gets Jinx snowballing nowadays? Do you have to just kind of wait up for the late game essentially? So this could be a magic defensive option if you're someone in that boat who feels that Jinx does need to in fact have a bit of more time to scale up and you just survive things like burst damage and such like that. So that could affect Jinx. And in terms of damage, not so much because she does physical damage. So even if the enemy buys Maw of Mortius, she's not gonna have any trouble breaking through magic resist because that's not the damage she does anyways. Rel, the better Leona, is having their base armor decrease from 35 to 32, as well as having the time on their W, both Ws, increased from 11 seconds to 13 seconds. So the better Leona is definitely basically in short the better Leona, and as a support character, if you're playing with the Rel, it might not make too much of a difference. We are seeing Rel in pro play. We've actually already seen Jinx in pro play if you've been paying attention to like the EU LCS. I know it's not called that anymore, but for me, a longtime viewer of the pro scene, it's always going to be that by accident. I'm sorry, I know branding is important, so I will try to refer to it as the LEC. But yeah, we have seen Jinx basically in Europe already and stuff like that too, actually picked on the pro level. So with the Rel and stuff like that, because she was picked with the Thresh in one particular game, so people like apparently picking Jinx in the pro scene with those more hard engaged things. So a Rel is an example of that, and seeing a Rel being nerfed somewhat, she still seems like she's going to be good because we have seen Rel a lot in pro play as well, which is part of why these nerfs are happening, is the pro play scene. It shouldn't gut Rel, so if you're playing a Jinx lane with the Rel, you actually should still be fine with the better Leona. If you're playing against one, she's still the better Leona. Now, if you have Leona, go for it, because I think personally Leona is still Leona, right? There's the better Leona, but Leona is still good. So there you go. You just have both options. If they take one, you can take the other if neither of them are banned, and so there you go. Senna has a lot of changes, like being able to no longer grant over 100% crit chance, and the soul drops, and so many things that I honestly don't think will affect Jinx. So we're actually just gonna skip Senna, but be aware if Senna is an issue in your games, it's because she did get changes that I just did not take the time to read, because this is mainly a Jinx video, and I really don't think, like if you're struggling because Senna has over 100% crit chance, that Senna probably is already fed anyways, and that's a different ball game entirely. And if not, then again, there's no point. So we're just gonna go on by. You can tell I really like this setup. I really do. So we're just gonna move on for that reason as well. Pogba. You remember that guy exists now because I said his name. Otherwise, you don't see him ever to know that that actually is a champion. That used to be a hyper carry alongside Jinx. In the days of old, Kog'Maw used to be what's called a void champion, a void creature. He actually has arms. Doesn't look like he has arms in his in-game model. It looks like he's just head and legs actually. But he used to be this character. He has like auto attacks. He has like a W that lets him do some range stuff going on. He's this real mythical character that no one knows actually exists, except for right now, because I'm reminding you that he does exist. And they're actually buffing his W on hit damage from 3 to 6 to 3 to 7 of a target's maximum health or missing health. It's magic damage too. Trading in lane, Kog'Maw has always kind of been that mixed damage kind of champion, like jokes aside, historically. He used to like build Trinity Force, he used to build Guins's Rage Blade when his attack speed could go up to 500%, which is 5 attacks per second. He used to be an insane character in moments, but he's kind of fallen off and never really gotten back on. Like for all the complaints about Jinx, she will eventually get back on the horse eventually. Kog'Maw will not. Or he is the horse. And as such, when most videos are shot in movies and stuff of characters riding horses, they want the character. They don't really want the horse. They don't care about the horse. The horse is there. The only reason you knew Gandalf's horse was white in Lord of the Rings is because there were certain scenes where the army was on horses riding towards things, and that stands out. Like how Mace Windu had a purple lightsaber. It stands out. That's the only reason you knew what it was or where it was. Okay, that's Kog'Maw right now, so they're trying to help them. But to be honest, Jinx's changes, however minimal they might be for some people, are still better than what they're giving Kog'Maw. So you will not struggle with Kog'Maw. I'm telling you right now, Kog'Maw will not be an issue, and if he is, I will make a whole video about why I was wrong. That's how confident I am about it. So there we go. Now, speaking of another champion, Twitch, a streaming platform that you can go to as well if you wanted to do something more like streaming services and stuff like that. It is owned by Amazon, so there's no reason why with all the money it has, it should not have made a perfect or at least a decent copyright system at this point. Even YouTube, for all of its faults, because it's owned by Google, has a copyright system in place. Hurry up, Twitch, and fix that so that my friends that stream do not have to worry about your, not the DMC system in general, but like the really dumb, obviously bad use of the non-existent system. But also there's a champion in League of Legends called Twitch. He's a sewer rat. Bad Administrator did a rap verse for him in the This Is War 2, Piltover vs. Zon. You should go listen to that. But this champion specifically is getting an adjustment on his AP and AD specifically. Now, historically, and I always say this, he was, maybe not so much anymore, a Jinx counter in lane at least. Because things like the Venom cast and stuff could slow Jinx's DPS, he could trade, and his ultimate is such stupidity that you can go back behind the tower and he can still ult you from out of tower range. I just don't understand why that's just annoying. So I'll take the extra rocket range that they gave Jinx recently. Thank you. But with that being said, they're doing some adjustments. He's a little bit different than Kog'Maw. He's not quite like Jinx, because people like Jinx, and people like Twitch too to an extent. He will eventually get back on the horse, or he'll at least keep trying to chase the horse. Kog'Maw will just give up. He'll roll over and die, and explode into the Danganronpa pink blood, because, you know, Spike Chunsoft and Cyber Pop. So there we go. But Twitch might be an issue. Unlike Kog'Maw, who I said will not be an issue, Twitch might be an issue. The same way he's always maybe an issue, because whenever they do adjustments on him and he's not getting nerfed, he can kind of stealth his way into the meta in a way you don't expect, like the jungle. A stealth Twitch smiting you out of nowhere, for example. That doesn't happen very often, but like you have to kind of somehow theorycraft a bit. What exactly is Twitch doing? He's already a talking rat, for Pete's sake. We got to kind of think outside the box at this point. So he might be an issue for a Jinx, but I'm also going to say he's probably not going to be. These changes don't seem like they're going to rocket him into the meta, but he is someone to have on your radar if he suddenly does take off and is out of control. That would be why. So now you've been warned. You're welcome. But also thank you, because if you're seeing this part, you've watched this part of the video this long, I appreciate it. That being said, that's gonna be the conclusion of this video. We're doing it, like I said, a little bit different to make up for the lack of quality, more of a high quality Let's Talk Jinx video. Beard and all this included. So that's gonna be the conclusion though, and we're gonna say thank you so much for watching the video. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification, because it's the actual subscribe button, because YouTube somehow messed that up. But I don't know which video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.